So good morning. Today we're going to start a new lesson in chapter 5, which talking about right fractions and decimals as a percent. Now, in the previous lesson, we talked about how we write decimal as percent and how you write fraction as percent. Today, no. Today, you have a fraction, you have a decimal, and I want you to write it as a percent. All of you, please open your book, page 280. Now, yesterday we said before that if you have a fraction, if you have a percent like 30%, and you want to write it as a fraction, you will say it's 30 over 100, because 30%, it means 30 per 100. And if I want to write it as a decimal, you will put 2 digits, and you will start filling them, and it will be 0.3. So yesterday, we learned how to write a percent as a fraction and as a decimal. Now, today, we're going to learn how to rewrite a fraction in percent. Like if you have 3 over 10, this is a fraction. You want to write it as a decimal. What you will do? You will ask yourself, I said I want to write it as percent. Percent, it means per 100. So, but here my denominator is 10. So now I will ask myself, what is the number that when I multiply it by 10, I get 100? And when you think about it, you will find it's 10. Because 10 times 10 is 100. And up here, by 10, you get 30. So 3 over 10 is the equivalent to 30 over 100, which can be written as 30%.
Teacher, why won't we just add 0 for the up and for the down?
No, you don't add, you multiply by 10. Some cases, it comes like this. 3 over 25. So the same steps. What is the number that you multiplied by 25? You get 100. You will say it's 4. 24 times 4 is 100. 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 over 100 is 12%. This is how, if the fractions, I want to write them as a percent. And remember that if the denominator is 2, multiply it by 50. Just a minute here. If it is 10, multiply it by 5. By 10. If it is 5, multiply it by 20. If it is 20, multiply it by 5. If it is 25, multiply it by 4. And if it is 4, multiply it by 25. So of the denominators, one of these factors, 2, 10, 5, 20, 25, 4, you can write a fraction as a percent. And if they are not one of them, we will have another way. We will talk about it later. So for the fraction, as I told you before, you have to write like 4 over 5. You have to say 5. I multiply it by 20 to get us an 100. And I multiply up by 20, which will be 80, which is 80%. This is how to write fraction as a percent. Is it clear?
Teacher, I didn't understand. Can you repeat it one more time?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, just 1 minute, please.
Girls, the lesson is about, do you see two numbers? Okay, you will take the number that is down, multiply it with any number, and So the fraction will be 100, multiply the above it with the same number you multiply, and it will be the answer.
So I will give you now another example here. Now, if you have a fraction such as 4 over 20, and you want to write it as a decimal, as a percent, sorry. As a percent, it means you have to write it per 100. Then, what is the number that you multiply it by 20, you get 100? From here, it's 5. Okay, grade 6? Grade 6?
Yes, teacher, we understood.
Yes, we understood.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
And if you multiply up here, you get 20. Then 20 over 100 is 20%. This is for the fraction. Now, what about the decimal? For the decimal, it's so easy. If it is like 0.37, what you will do? Only one step. Convert a decimal to be percent. Just you have to move the decimal point 2 digits to the right. This is only the step. Where's the decimal point? It's here. Move it 2 digits. Be here. So it will be 37%. If it is decimal, move it 2 digits. If it is fraction, you have to rewrite a fraction with a new equivalent one, but with its denominator is 100. Let's start now with the examples in your book here. Now,
What was that?
all of you, please open your book, page 281. On page 281 here, we have during the 2008-2009 season of the National Basketball Association, which has been NBA, the Phoenix Suns won about 11 over 20 of their games, and the Miami Heat won about 0.524 thousandths of their games. Which team was more successful during the season? So to compare now the season performance of the Sun, just we have to divide them in a percent in order to compare. Now here what do we have? The first one, we have 11 over 20. What's this? This is a fraction. And I want to write it as a percent. So what you will do? For the fraction, remember that for fraction, you need to rewrite a fraction in equivalent one, but with a denominator of 100. So I want to write an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. In order to write this number in with percent. So then, what is the number that you multiply it by 20, you get 100? Who can tell me?
Teacher, me?
Yes.
5. It's 5.
It's 5.
Yes.
So when I multiply 20 by 5, I get 100, and I will multiply the numerator by 5.
55.
Then 11. 55. So it's gonna be 55 over 100 or 55%. So this is a way how we write 11 over 20, or I write a fraction to be as percent. Is it clear? Second one now. This is for A. Now for B. What do we have? We have 0.524 thousandths. In other words, we have decimal. And we want to write it as a percent. Now, how we will write a percent as a decimal as a percent? Only one step. Who can remind you that?
We remove the decimal point.
Bravo. We will move the decimal point.
Change the decimal point, please.
Yes, bravo.
Three.
So it's
Two digits always.
52.4%. Now, who they get a greater percentage? The 11 over 20 or the 0.524?
520. 55 for.
Bravo. 52.4. 55% is greater than 52.4, which means the phonics sum. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's go back to your book here and write the answers. This is for A. Here is the answers for A.
I want to tell you something.
Yes.
Yesterday, the lesson of yesterday, I didn't understand the part where you put like a greater number over 100 and you get like plus and like do this. I don't understand it.
Do you mean like 250%?
Yeah.
Okay, while they are writing, I will explain it here for you. If you
Okay.
have 250%, can you tell me now what is 250?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me now? It is a summation of which two numbers? That the first one must be less than 100 and the second one greater than 100.
100 and 150.
No, I want no. One
Teacher,
is not 100.
And how can we
Wait, yeah, Sham, wait.
250. Give me two numbers. One is less than 100
Yes.
and the second one is greater than.
50 and 200.
Bravo, 50 and 200. So it is like 20% and 50%. Now,
Yeah.
20%, it means 20 over 100. Or 50%, it means 50 over 100.
200, teacher.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
Then, these cancel zeros, so we have 2 plus 50 over 100, 0 cancel 0. 5 and 10, how you simplify them? Divide 5 by 5 is 1. Divide by 5 is 2. So it will be 2.5, and which is 2.5. Did you finish writing A now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mrs.Dima.
No. Teacher, I didn't finish the A.
Did you finish now? Grade
Yes,
6?
teacher, we finished.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
open your book, page 283.
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Teacher, I didn't finish part A.
This is part A. Let's hurry up, please.
Teacher, Amsham, can I answer today?
I will let you answer here. Just a minute, please. Now, all of you, the others, please open your book, page 283.
Opened it.
I finished.
Now, okay. Oh, one, sorry. 3 over 25. Now, let's start with die. Die. Absent. Okay. Jana Abdullah.
Yes, teacher.
Teacher Sarah, can I answer after
Yes,
Jana?
Number 1. No, miss. Wait your
I'm
turn.
Jenna, teacher.
Yes, Jana. 3 over 25. How you can write this fraction without, can you give me an equivalent fraction to 3 over 25, but with a denominator of 100? What is the number?
It will be
What's the number that you multiply it by 25, you get 100?
multiplied with 25.
Is it 1? 1 times 25,
No.
2 times 25, 50. 3 times 25,
3 times 25.
yes, 75. 4 times 25, 100. So you multiply the denominator by 100 to get 100. 25 by 4, you get 100. What is the number that you have multiplied with the numerator?
With the 4.
4, bravo. 3 times 4,
3 times 4, 20.
12. So
12.
12 over 100. How you write as a percent?
It will be 20.
12%.
12.
Teacher, can I answer?
Now the second one, Jana Amjad, Julie, Lama.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Lama. 3 over 10.
Teacher, I'm Jana. Can you hear me?
Okay, Jana. After that, I will ask you to answer. 3 over 10 now. How you write an equivalent fraction to 3 over 10, but with a denominator of 100?
We have to multiply
By what?
by maybe 1.
10. You multiply it by what to give 100?
10.
10. Good job. And 3 by what?
3 by 10.
Bravo. 3 by 10 is?
30.
30. 30 over 100. How you write it as a percent?
30%.
Thank you so much, Lama. ملك عمرو. لا sorry, before that. أمجد اسمه جنى أمجد.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Jana. Point 717. How you write it as a percent? Where do you have to move the decimal point? After how many digits?
3 digits.
I told you have to multiply it by 100. So you have to move it 2 digits only to the right. So how it will be?
So,
21.7.
1.7.
If you write a decimal as a percent, just you move it 2 digits, or in other words, multiply it by 100. Thank you. The second one, Malak Amr. Malak Amr.
Yes, teacher. Yes, I'm
Yes,
here.
Malak. Here, number 4,
Yeah.
0.200. Where do you have to put the point? After how many digits?
It is 2 digits.
2 digits, bravo. So how
So
it will be?
200.
200. How 100? As a
It will
person.
be 20.
No, wait.
100%.
2%. See, it is 0.2. You move the decimal
Yeah.
point 2 digits. So it
Oh
will be
yeah. 2%.
So it will be only 2%.
Why teacher 1%? I thought it's 1.0. I mean 2.0.
Promise. The decimal point after 2 digits here. It's here. So 1, 2 to be here. So when it will be here, it comes like this, which means 2.
Okay.
Teacher, now can I answer?
And then you 0. about how you mean 0 بس 1.
I'll give you now 1 minute to write. Hurry up, please.
Done.
Now, go back to page 282. Here now, what do we have? On page 282. Now, before that, I told you, like, if you have decimal, and percent. If you have now 35%, if you have now, I'm sorry, 0.35 or 0.7, and these are decimals. And the question asks you, write the decimal as a fraction and as a percent. What you will do? Look at the first one, 0.35. What you will do with it? 0.35, it is how to write it as a fraction. What you will do? You will write 35 first, up and down. You will see after how many digits from the right you will find the decimal point? After 2 digits. So since they are 2 digits, you will write 2 zeros. The second one, where is the whole number? It's 7. After how many digits you will find the decimal point? Grade 6, after how many digits you will find the decimal point?
2.
0.7.
7 out of 7.
1 teacher 1.
1.
And
Bravo.
1.
So yes, because it's 1, you will write it as 7/10. Or in other words, you will read the first one 35 hundredths, which means 35/100. The second one 7/10ths, which means 7/10. So now I wrote them as a fraction, and then we can simplify them more. Divide by 5 is 7, divide by 5 is 20, so it will be 7/20. So now we wrote the both of the decimals as a fraction. Now, how we write it as a percent? Let's go now to 35 over 100. It's ready. 35 over 100, it means 35 per 100, 35%. Bravo. But what about 0.7? I wrote it as 7 over 10. And if it is like 7 over 10, I asked you to write an equivalent one, but with a denominator of 100.
We
So
need to multiply it with 10 so it can be,
Bravo.
the decimal can be 100.
So you will multiply both of them by 10. So it will be 70 over 100. Because it is now 70 over 100, you will
It
say
will be
it's
70%.
70%.
It's
Is
really
it
too
clear?
easy today's lesson.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, this is here a case how to write 0.7 as a fraction as and a percent. Write your answers.
I'm solving homework.
Teacher, where is it?
Point
On
200.
page 282. Teacher, I'm done. I wrote it all. Teacher, today's lesson is so nice and it is easy.
Yeah.
Teacher, we will complete the lesson tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
We have 15 minutes left.
Okay, but can you repeat?
Why? You didn't
Now, let's go now to B. Did you finish writing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now B.
Yeah.
Here is now the most important part. Now, let's go back to fractions. Now, if you have a fraction and I asked you to write it as a decimal and I asked you to write it as a percent. As an example, if you have 2 over 50 and if you have 3 over 40. Now, on the first case here, 2 over 50. In order to write it in a decimal point, you must write it in a fraction, but with 1 over 100. How can I write, before that, let's write it as a percent. Here, if you have 2 over 50, how you will write it as a percent? You multiply 50 by what?
By 2.
By 2. Up and down.
So it will be 4 over 100. When it is 4 over 100, you will say it is 4%.
4.
And you want to write it as a decimal.
Percent, yeah.
We know that we will put 2 digits because we have 2 zeros, and you will start from 4. Then here we'll put another decimal point, the 0, which will be 0.4 hundredths. So here, if you have
Yeah.
and they ask me to write as a decimal and as a percent. But what can we do if the denominator is not a factors of 100? If there isn't any number, when I can multiply them by 40, I get 100. What can we do? What do you mean? What do you mean, teacher?
We will divide.
What do you mean here?
Divide.
At 50. In this case here,
Yeah, we can.
I told you if the denominator
Can't be multiplied by 100.
if the denominator is not 2, or is 2, 10, 5, 20, 25, or 50.
Teacher, we can divide.
It's one of them. If the denominator is one from these factors, you can rewrite it directly as over 100. How? By multiplying 2 by 50 and 50 by 2, 10 by 10, 5 by 20, and 20 by 5, 24 by 4, and 4 by 25. So if the factors, one from these numbers, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, 25, 50, we can directly write it as a percent of, or as a percent or a fraction per 100.
So,
But-
teacher, we want to, I want to tell you
There
something.
was
How
no
we can,
teacher. We will
Correct.
divide if we can't. We
طب
will
يلا okay,
divide.
just a minute. هلا for the first case, is it clear? If the numbers from these factors, just I multiply them by number to directly write it as a percent. Now, but if it is not, what can we do? We will divide. Look at me how. Three over
We will
4.
make long division, right?
So now, yeah. So
Yeah.
now we will divide. 3 over 4. Can I? No.
No,
I will add decimal point
the
up
zero
and
up and point.
now 30 over 40. Can I?
No, 30 over 40.
You will add another 0. 300 over 40.
Yeah.
yeah, 300.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
7 times 0, 0. 7 times 4, 28. Will we
yeah.
subtract
Then
back
minus, it will be 2. Then
We,
teacher, then we're gonna multiply it with, we're gonna add 0.
Then we're gonna add 0. 200 over 40 is
5.
5 times 40 is 200. We must stop when the remainder is 0. Now, after we divide, what I get?
0.
I get 0.75 thousandths. I wrote it now as a decimal. How if you have a decimal? How can I write it as a percent? As I told you before, just move the decimal point 2 digits
Yeah.
to the right. So it comes like 7.5%. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. Now,
Teacher, what's the sound? It's so funny, wallah.
now, now here in the page 282, write the answers, please.
Okay. Oof, teacher, what's all of this? Teacher, do we write the one that a possible explanation also?
As you want.
Okay, I write it. 0.75. Possible. Okay, teacher, wait. Possible explanation
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
is
Teacher, how do we know? Do we move the decimal point to the left or to the right?
If you multiply it to the right, if you divide it to the left.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Did you finish now?
No, teacher.
It's less than.
done.
Okay. Now, after you finish, open your book, page 283.
Wait, teacher. I finished. I'm done.
Now, page 283.
Teacher, can I shot at least? I didn't finish.
Teacher, I'm sure. Can I answer today, please?
يلا يلا.
I am Marwa.
I will let you answer, but just a minute, please. Screenshot, please.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
We don't have يعني minutes. We still have 5 minutes.
Now, here, page 283. Write the number in 2 other forms, fraction, decimal, or percent. Here's the question, but I made a table in order to arrange ourselves. Yeah, number 1 now. Here what do we have? 0.01 decimal. Malak Mahmoud, how you write it as a percent? Malak Mahmoud, are you here?
Yes, teacher. Malak Mahmoud is here, but she is not answering. Hello, Malak Mahmoud. Can you answer?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Malak.
Yeah.
0.01 decimal. How you write it as a percent?
Yeah, we are here.
Yalla, answer me.
Okay, so first thing we have to know as a fraction. We will write it as a fraction 1
over what?
1 over 10,000.
100.
You mean 100?
It's 100, so it's 100.
Yeah.
Because it's 2.
Thank you, Marwa. Marwa.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Marwa. 1 over 100. How you write it as a percent?
Repeat, teacher.
1 over 100. How you write it as a percent?
Okay, teacher. Wait.
Wait for.
Because I am writing in the book. Yeah. We will put it like
1 over 100. It's
yeah. It's like 0.0100.
No, miss. It's 1%. 1 per 100. It means 1%.
Oh, I am understand.
Rafif. Rafif.
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Yes, Rafif. 13 over 40. Here, since as you see, 40, we cannot write it as a 100. So we have to divide. Yes, Rafif. 13 over 40.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can't. We will
So
put
we
the
add-
0 and point.
Yeah.
We will add the
130.
0.
Divide by 40.
We can't count.
We can. 2 times 40, 80. 3 times 40.
2 times 3 times 40 equals to 120.
Bravo. 120. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 4, 12. Then 10. What you have to
0
add?
and 1 and 0.
Yeah. What you have to add now?
Add 0.
Add 0. 100 over 40.
Add 0.
100
180.
over 40.
2.
2. Bravo. 2
We
times
can't.
40.
That 2 and gives us 8.
Yeah. Then 20. You
8,
will add
I mean.
200 over 40.
200 over 40. Wait.
Yalla, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. 5. 5. Aran?
5. Yeah, 5.
So it will be
Gives us
0.320.
200. Yeah, 5.
How you write 0.125 as a percent?
We will write, as a percent, we will write 325%.
See, you will move it 2 digits. So how it will be?
Oh, yeah, teacher. Yeah. Wait, teacher. Yeah, I forgot. Which will be 32.5%.
Thank you so much. 32.5%. Now run.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, run. Yalla, help us.
Yes.
Now, 6 over 5. Here I wrote it wrongly. It's 6 over 5.
Okay.
What you have to do?
I have to make a decimal first of all.
Yes.
Well, I have to make the denominator 100.
Yes.
Multiply by 20.
Bravo. 6 times 20.
6 times 20, it's equals, I think,
6 times 0.
0.
0.
120.
Bravo. 120 over 100. Okay. So how to write it? So 120 over 100. It means as a percent what?
12.
No, wait. 120 per 100. So it's 120.
0.
No, miss, as a percent. I want you to write as a percent. 120 over 100. How it
What,
will be as a
teacher?
percent? 120 over 100. How you will write it as a
It
percent?
will be 12.0.
You want, طب see, you want as a decimal?
Yeah.
As a decimal? How
Yes.
it will be? You will more write 2 digits.
It will
Then
be 12.
here, 2 and 1. So
One.
it will be 1.2.
Yeah.
This is a decimal. How it will be as a percent?
It will be 120%.
Bravo, 120%. Thank you, Ran. The last one now.
Teacher,
Sama.
yes, teacher.
Yes, Sama. 0.008 decimal. How you write it as a fraction? Yalla, hurry up.
Okay.
8 over what?
8 over 100.
Why 100? How many digits after the you want to reach the decimal point?
After the decimal point 3.
3. So it will be 8 over
1,000.
1,000. Sarah.
Teacher, I don't understand.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Sarah. 8 over 1,000. How you write it as a fraction, but in simplest form?
Teacher, I don't
What,
understand the
teacher?
lesson.
8 over 1,000. How you can simplify it? Divide by what here?
8%.
No, miss. 8 over 1,000. How you will simplify it? Divide by 4. Divide by 4. I want you to simplify it. It will be 20 over 250. Or 2 over 100, 250. Then divide by 2. Divide by 2, which L will be 1 over 125. That's what I mean, yeah, Asama.
Teacher, I don't understand the
Teacher,
lesson.
Sham, can I answer this person?
Yes, Sham, the last one.
Teacher, I
8.
don't understand.
It's okay. The period is finished. Ask me on Telegram.
We will move 2 point. We will move the period 2 digits. It's gonna be 0.8%. 0.8%.
Bravo. It will be 0.8%. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have any question?
No, teacher. Bye, teacher.
Let's see. Now, just a minute. Here you have this one. I sent it to 6 Red, and I will send it to you now. I want you to answer it and send me the steps on Telegram privately.
Teacher, but this is such what?
It's not for, it's from my mind.
Okay, I will solve it.
Okay. Now, Malak Amr, you didn't understand?
Yeah, I don't understand the lesson.
All of it? Why?
I don't understand it.
But see, I want you to rewatch the video. If you didn't understand, ask me on Telegram.
Teacher, I will send the picture that you said for us to solve it so the girls can, yani.
I already sent it on a group.
Bye.
Okay, bye, teacher. Bye, love.
Thank you, teacher.
Have a nice day.
Bye, teacher. Have a nice